Hello, everybody. I'm JB, and welcome back to another Survivor Season 40 Winners at War episode recap. And I just finished watching episode 5? Yeah, episode 4. Episode 4. Wait, I get confused because the first episode was a two-parter, but I'm considering that two-parter one whole episode. So this would be episode 4 with the fifth person being voted out. So this was a very good episode. It felt a little different than usual because we had a lot of time dedicated to the Edge of Extinction. So basically, we had the 4 players that were voted off: Natalie, Amber, Danny, and Ethan, all climbing a mountain to retrieve logs. And if they did it, then they would all get a fire token, I believe. But they had to do it 20 times before sunset or before sundown. And it took up a lot of the episode. I feel like that whole segment lasted it felt like a long time, like 10 minutes. I don't know. But they all ended up doing it, and Natalie finished first. She was a beast. Ethan, they had to have the paramedics look at him, check him out, and he did it though. I mean, he's I think like 50 years old. So good for him being at his age able to climb that mountain and get it done. And I thought it was because I couldn't do it at my age, and I'm in my late 20s. So good for him for being fit at that age and everything that he's gone through. He really is just an amazing person overall. It was very nice to see all 4 of them go up together when he was on his last leg. I thought that was very nice to see. So we got a lot of Edge of Extinction at the beginning here. And then we go into the actual tribes of the game. And Adam is on the bottom. It looked like everyone wanted to vote him off. Looks like Jeremy and Michelle are running things over on the blue tribe. Adam seemed to be on the bottom. Rob and Parvati seem to be on the bottom. Ben seems to be sitting pretty. Denise seems to be sitting pretty as well. I think I mentioned everyone on that team. Yeah. And so Adam looked like he was going to be the one going home. But they ended up winning, and the challenge was unbelievable. Can we talk about that challenge for a minute? I cannot believe that the blue team won that challenge. That was a huge comeback. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how in the world did they not? How did the red team not win that challenge? It blew my mind. It blew my mind. I was shocked. It was very exciting, very cool though. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, so the red team loses, and Sandra has beef with Tyson because I guess he was going against her originally because he was aligned with Amber when they voted her out. You had Yule trying to round up Nick and Sophie and Wendell and all of the one-time players versus the multiple-time players, which I mentioned. I said it's probably going to end up going that way, where you're going to have either old school versus new school or multiple-time players versus one-time players. But it seems more like connections because like Sarah and Tony have a connection, Robin Parvati, Tyson, Sandra, Kim had a connection with Tyson. I think I'm forgetting some. Jeremy and Natalie, Rob and Amber, but those they already got voted out. So, but anyways, so there's this whole thing. So it looked like the line was drawn in the sand. Sandra, Tony, Tyson, Kim, yeah, all the big name players seem to be working together. And it seemed like it was Nick's fault that they did lose the challenge because he was on the puzzle. And during the challenge, I'm really glad that Adam was able to do it and get it done. It was really hard to watch. They kept missing him. Like, why are they having Parvati and Adam jumping? Because Parvati's short, and Adam is also short. Kim's really tall. She jumped once. Oh, but she was on the red team. That's right. Yeah, but yeah. So it's incredible that they won. But I thought Nick was going home. So you had what it looked like to be the connected players versus the non-connected. But everyone ended up voting out Tyson tonight over Nick. Nick voted for Kim, which was odd. I guess because he thought that Tyson may have had an idol, but no one else voted for Kim or thought about that. So was Nick just on the outs? Did he not know how the vote was going? Or was that a plan that was talked to him? I don't know. Maybe I missed it, but no. So they all voted out Tyson. I was pretty sad because I liked both Nick and Tyson a lot. I really didn't want to see either of them go. But Nick finally got some camera time this episode. This is the first episode where he's not just standing in the background. So that was really cool. And I was like, is Nick going to go home on the episode where he finally gets some camera time? But it was Tyson, and once they read I would say 3 votes Tyson. 2 votes Tyson, I'm like, is it going to be Tyson? And then once they read the third Tyson, I was like, okay, it's Tyson, unless they do another Nick. And they just kept going. So Tyson went home. Didn't go home. He got voted out. Went to Edge of Extinction. Oh, sorry. Thirsty, folks. I'm all tongue-tied tonight. And I thought it was funny where he had to give his fire token away, and he said he'd rather eat it. And then he ended up giving it to Nick, which was a very interesting choice because Nick was the one he was trying to get out. So I thought that was pretty cool. And Tyson gave him kind of a callback to what Nick said in his confessional, because he's all like, "Here's a gift from your hero, kid." Or so because Nick was saying how Tyson was one of his favorite players. So this was a fun episode. It was just a lot happened. Very good episode. Tony was funny. He was mocking the other team during the challenge. He's like, fall, yeah. And Sandra sat out again. Now, I thought that you couldn't sit out back-to-back challenges, because she sat out the last challenge, I thought. But then she sat out again this challenge, so maybe they don't do that anymore, or maybe I missed something, because she sat out last time, and then she sat out again. So I guess you can just sit out as many times as you want now. It was very peculiar. Let's see, what else is there that happened tonight? Yeah, just it was a really good episode. I mean, we saw the red team was getting along pretty well because they hadn't gone to tribal in like 6 days. They survived 2 vote outs, and um, the blue team finally caught a break, and Tyson went home almost unanimously. So it's interesting. This is a very cool episode. The dynamics of the players' relationships are really starting to show, and next week they're going to be tribe swapped, which I'm very excited about. It'll be interesting. I'm very intrigued at the direction that the season is going. I really don't know. But I will say, I had Tyson down as in my boot predictions. I did have Tyson going home early. I actually had him being voted out 4th, and he was actually voted out 5th. 4th. 5th, right. He was voted out 5th. Because my initial boot ranking, I had going Sandra, Parvati, Tony, and Tyson. So I was close with Tyson. He went 1 spot earlier, but I knew Tyson would probably be voted out early. If he had made it past the early stages of the game, I think he could have gone far and even won. In terms of my big crazy 8 that I have for winning, my game and my predictions are awful. Originally, I had 8 players that I thought could win, and those 8 players included Amber, Danny, Ethan, and Tyson. So out of the first 5, 4 of them to be voted out are people that I thought could win out of my 8. So the only ones left in my 8 that could win, that I initially had picked, are Jeremy, Denise, Sarah, and Nick. Which Nick's game has not been strong per se, because he hasn't got a lot of camera time until this episode. But I'm still feeling strong on Jeremy, Denise, and Jeremy, Denise, and Sarah, right? But at this point, I think Sophie has a really good shot at winning. I'd say from this point moving forward, if I had to pick 4 that I think could really win, excluding those on Edge of Extinction, I would say Sophie is definitely one. I still think Jeremy. I still think Denise. I still think Sarah. Maybe Michelle. And maybe I still don't see Tony winning. I don't see Yule winning. I know a lot of people love Yule. I think he's playing a great game. I think that he will become an overdog eventually, but I think that he'll make the jury, but I don't see him making the finale. And I don't see Tony making the finale. I don't see Wendell winning. He hasn't gotten a lot of screen time. I don't see Nick winning anymore because he hasn't gotten a lot of screen time. I don't see Parvati, Boston Rob, or Sandra winning. They're all too big of threats, too big of overdogs. But I gotta give them credit. Those 3 are playing really good games. Tyson was the first big threat to go home, it seems. Like the big, well-known, multiple-time players. So, and I suspected that he would. I really like Tyson. I wish he had gone further. I think if he had been able to get through this early stage and make it to a swap, he probably could have done very well. So it's unfortunate that he's gone. But he is on edge of extinction, so that's exciting. So yeah, very interesting season. I'm really enjoying it. It was just a lot to take in tonight. But like I said, Edge of Extinction was so long, that whole portion, and then the episode just kind of, I don't know, it was a weird structured episode tonight, but very good episode. Tyson went home. What a bummer. Can't wait to see what happens next week. We'll have to keep watching. But yeah, my new big four that I think could win still, which still have my original three, are Jeremy, Denise, and Sarah. And then I also want to include Sophie now. Nick was also in there. I don't think he can win. I don't know. Next week will be interesting. There's a tribe swap, so I have no idea who could be going home or what could happen. But anyways, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. I appreciate you viewing. Again, I've said it before, these videos are just for fun. My camera quality is pretty low in terms of quality. But you know, that's for fun. I'm gonna do these every week. I might throw in other videos here and there. I don't know yet. We'll see. But drink lots of water. It's so important to be hydrated, especially with the weather changing, at least where I'm from. Stay hydrated, stay happy, stay healthy. Have a great night. Thank you for watching. That's all, folks. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.